Alright guys, how are you today? Welcome to our classroom. Our subject is History 2 in Architecture, and our topic for today is this Master of Architecture of International Style. His name is Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, and he is famous for his saying that less is more, meaning to say a simple building is more beautiful to look at. Less in details, but more to look. There are more to look his works than meet the eyes. That's the meaning of that. Meaning to say, there are no nonsense decoratives in his works, just simple and beautiful. That is less is more, the meaning of his dictum. Okay, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, 1886-1969. He was a German-born architect and educator. He's widely acknowledged as one of the most skillful architects of the 20th century. He is noted by emphasizing open space and revealing the industrial materials used in construction, like the new materials on the dawn of the 20th century. Those are the glass, the steel, and the iron and steel and the GI sheets. Okay, his biography. Born in Aachen, Germany, Mies spent the first half of his career in his native country. His early work was mainly residential, and he received first independent commission, the Real House, when he was only 20 years old. Wow, napaka-bata pa at meron na siyang project kaagad, 20 years old. Architectural genius talaga, Mies van der Rohe. Considered as one of the pioneers of modern architecture, together with Le Corbusier, Walter Gropius, and Frank Lloyd Wright, Mies van der Rohe is one of these pioneers of the 21st modern architecture of international style. Meaning to say, when you say international style, meaning their style will suit every places in this planet. Mies quickly became a leading figure in avant-garde life of Berlin and was widely respected in Europe for his innovative structures, including the Barcelona Pavilion. In 1930, he was named also as the director of the Bauhaus. The Bauhaus is the renowned German school of experimental art and design, which led until 1933, and he closed the school under Nazi pressure in the World War II. His philosophy, mga filosofiya ni Mies van der Rohe, his building beyond merely affecting our lives endow them with greater significance and beauty. The absence of decorative treatment, yan ang sinabi ko. Yung mga floral motif, yung parang sa Art Deco na period, yung mga Victorian style na mahilig sa floral motif, mga bulaklak, mga curves, wala yan sa kanyang design kasi gusto niya ng simple, straight. When he uses curve, simple curve ang ginagamit, hindi yung napakaraming curve na magresulta na parang bulaklak na yung design. His building radiate the confidence, rationality, and elegance of their creator, and his building were free of ornamentation. Yun talagang ayaw niya, yung mga ornament. Kung sa babae pa yan, makumpara natin na babae na napakaraming hikaw, makeup, hikaw sa ilong, hikaw sa tenga, hikaw sa lips, sobrang-sobra na. So hindi na maganda tingnan, kaya less is more, simple is beautiful. That is his dictum in architecture. Sana ay ma-apply nyo yan guys sa inyong architecture. Don't use too much ornaments or decoration in your design. Magmukhang mumurahing kuan yan. Yung mga mumurahing GRO sa doon sa Makati, diyan sa Makati Highway, maraming mga, ang daming taring-taring, mga burluloy ng mga babae diyan. Pangit na tingnan. Kikay na. Kaya simple is beautiful. Less ornamentation or less of decoration is beautiful building. Less is more. Always remember that. And here's the features of his buildings. His mature buildings made use of modern materials such as steel, plate glass to define interior spaces. Si Maes Bandiro, siya yung isa sa unang gumagamit ng mga modern industrial materials like the steel, the glass, and even yung GI sheet ay bago pa lang lumabas noong 20th century. He called his building skin and bones architecture. Maes found appeal in the use of simple rectilinear and planar forms, clean lines, pure use of color, and the extension of space around and beyond the interior walls. Meaning, mahilig siya sa mga straight lines, planar forms, meaning plain lang na form, like yung flat surface, yung rectangular shapes, clean lines, walang kurba-kurba, walang sanga-sanga, clean. Kung curve, diretso na. Kung straight, straight na straight. And the pure use of color. Kung gumagamit siya ng red, red na yan, hindi na sinahaluan pa. Kung green, pure green. Kung yellow, pure yellow. Yun ang kanyang parang sistema sa kanyang architecture. Meaning para siyang yung talagang walang pasikot-sikot. Diretso siya, straight na tao. So, traditionalism to modernism. Sa tradisyon kasi ay sumusunod tayo sa doon sa tinatawag na classical style or yung sinundan ng classical, yung tinatawag natin na Baroque architecture. Those are traditional architecture, and now yung ating contemporary architecture. Yan palagi ang nag-influence sa atin. Kung ano kasi ang nakikita natin, yan ang ating nakukopya. Nakikita natin yan guys sa internet, sa mga movies, sa TV, sa magazines, ang mga architecture na yan. Kaya yan ay without knowing, nag-influence siya sa ating pag-design ng building. Kasi tumitingin tayo ng pattern. Kaya ayan tuloy, hindi tayo makalabas, hindi tayo makapaggawa ng sariling design kasi we are much influenced by our environment and existing surroundings. Okay, yung Bauhaus, siya ang director dyan. Sa Germany yan, isa sa finest school of experimental art. Ang architecture doon guys ay meron silang sculpture subject. Nag-i-sculpture sila ng mga gandang forma na building. At yun ang kanilang parang yung sa ngayon, yung ginagawa natin na miniature, yun ang ini-sculpture nila. Mga form ng buildings na pwede. Okay, in particular, the layering of functional subspaces within the overall space and the distinct articulation of parts appealed to Maes. The ideas of replacing elaborate applied artistic ornament with a straightforward display of innate visual qualities of materials and form found resonance with Maes. So he's pursuing of his ambition of lifelong mission to create a new architectural language that could be used to represent the new era of technology and production. He saw a need for an architecture expressive and in harmony with his epoch. He applied disciplined design process using rational thought to achieve his spiritual goals. Okay, so one notable way that Mayas connected his buildings with nature was extending outdoor plaza tiles into floor of a lobby. Meron din pala siyang guys, yung pagtingin sa nature na gusto niyang i-incorporate ang kanyang architecture design into the nature. So matagal na yan. That is 21st, make the 20th century. Ngayon ay tayo nasa 21st na. So almost millennial na. Make that centennial, isang daang taon na ang nakalipas. At itong mga tao ito guys ay napaka futuristic ng kanilang mga vision in architecture. Kasi yung kanilang vision noon, 100 years ago, ay ganun pa rin ang vision ng mga architect ngayon. At ang kanilang design, kung gagawin ngayon, ay still maganda pa rin ang kanilang design. So very advanced ang mga taong ito guys. Genius ang tawag sa kanila. By the late 1950s, the first sign of Messian school were beginning to appear, mostly noticeably in Chicago. So from Europe to America, from Germany to Chicago. But within a decade, this Messian school had expanded to become Chicago School, or growing body of Chicago architecture. In 1940s, a second Chicago school emerged from the work of Ludwig Mies van der Rohe and his efforts of education at the Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago still. Its first and purest expression was the 860 Lakeshore Drive apartment. Okay, let's just continue reading guys. Mies van der Rohe also have an interest on designing what we call the anthropometry, the design of furniture in relation to the human body ratio, that is the anthropometry. The relation, example, if you are driving with your car, nakasukat ba sa iyo ang upuan? Yan ang problema sa car kasi ang nag-design yan ay karamihan European at malalaki sila, kaya tuloy pag tayo nag-drive mga Pilipino ay parang hindi fit sa atin ang upuan. Pero pag Asian car, example Japanese yung gumawa, ay meron silang series or modelo na pang Asian lang, pang maliit na tao. Kaya maganda bumili ng Asian car kasi yung mga upuan doon ay naka-proportion yan sa tao. Yan ang tinatawag na anthropometry. Design in architecture, pinag-aralan yan ang mga sukat ng upuan, ang haba niyan, saka yung width at length. Okay, punta na tayo guys sa works of Mies van der Rohe. Ito yung kanyang mga trabaho. Tingnan natin tong Barcelona Pavilion. Kung makita nyo guys, napakasimple lang, no? Pero malinis yung kanyang daanan, walang mga tanim. Tsaka na-notice nyo, straight lang talaga yung rope. Tapos open, gumagamit siya ng mga glass, modern materials. Noon ang glass, that is something new, strange pa lang yan na material sa mga architect or sa construction. Pero ang unang gumagamit niyan ay yung mga masters of architecture of international style, mga contemporary artist ni Mies van der Rohe, tulad ni Walter Gropius at saka yung sila Frank Lloyd Wright. Still on Barcelona Pavilion, exposition had simplicity and clarity of means and intention. Everything is open, nothing is concealed. Open pala to guys, kaya glass, makikita ka talaga sa loob. Meaning liberated na design yan. Hindi yan yung parang sa Pilipinas kasi hindi liberated yung design natin. Para siyang yung sa psychology ba, yung tinatawag na yung hindi lumalabas na tao. Introvert design ang meron sa atin. Maraming introvert design sa atin, kaya nga yung mga pader natin hindi makikita yung bahay. Ang haba-haba ng pader, mga hollow blocks pa. Ayaw magpakita ng mga tao sa bahay kasi mga introvert. Hindi tulad nito, exposed, liberated, kitang-kita. Free of external ornament, the building was made of the most luxurious materials. Walls were fashioned of thin plates of luminous semi-precious stones, from green polished marble to golden onyx. Simple lang pala tingnan yan, pero yung mga materials dyan mamahalin. Kaya sikat yung Barcelona Pavilion. Itong SR Crown Hall is the home of the College of Architecture in Illinois Institute of Technology, also in Chicago, Illinois. Yan yung SR Crown Hall. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng SR? I-research nyo lang yan, guys. So ito yun. Sa interior niya ay napaka-spacious ang interior. Kasi ang space, yan ang pinaka-importante sa architecture. Yung mga design sa labas, dapat pagpasok mo ay maluwag talaga ang space. Kasi ang space, yun ang gagamitin ng tao na mayroon siyang ilalagay doon ng mga bagay. Tapos yung tao doon, ay doon din sila kumpul-kumpulan sa loob. Kaya ang importante sa bahay ang loob. Pero in architecture, dapat maganda rin ang labas. Aesthetic design yan. Yung loob, that is a functional design. Diyan makikita ang function sa loob. Ito yung isang sikat niya rin na historical work. Tajent Hut House, built by Baez, still by Mies van der Rohe, in Czechoslovakia. It features partition walls and furniture-defined function of the room. Meron din siyang Farnsworth House. In 1946 and 1951, Mies van der Rohe designed and built the Farnsworth House. Mies explored the relationship between people, shelter, and nature. So pinagsama-sama niya na yung relationship between the people, the surroundings, the nature, and the shelter. The glass pavilion is raised 6 feet above the floodplain. Flooded pala tong lugar na ito. Kaya tingnan nyo guys, meron siyang yung kanyang parang ground ay raised up. Tinaas kasi flooded. Kaya kung babaha dyan ay magpapasbay lang dyan sa ilalim yung baha. Maganda ring concept. Para siyang stilt. Hindi mo kasi mapigilan yung baha. So kung ganyan na lugar ang i-design nyo guys, may project kayo sa ganyang lugar na bumabaha, ganitong design gawin nyo. Para siyang may mga poste, yung platform ay na-raise up. He envisioned a skin and bones architecture that separated. Okay. His modern design building, and the most famous is this Seagram, the Seagram building. The integral plaza building, stone-faced lobby, and distinctive glass and bronze exterior were designed by Mies van der Rohe. It is 160-meter tall skyscraper. 160 meters. Mataas na yan guys noong 20th century. Mga around 1980 siguro ito nagawa. Mataas na yan ng mga skyscraper noon. Ngayon ang mga skyscraper umaabot na ng 200 meters to 300. IBM building, nung bago pa lang nagtayo ang IBM, yung pinakaunang kumpanya ng computer ay si Mies van der Rohe ang gumawa ng kanilang unang building dyan. Ito yung Chicago Building, 695 foot tall IBM building in 1971. Ngayon tinatawag yan na 330 North Wabash, which make the most of its prominent location on the north bank of Chicago River. Kaya sa Amerika guys, ang Chicago ang pinakamaraming before ang New York. Chicago muna yung maraming skyscraper kasi yung architecture sa Amerika ay nag-start yan sa Chicago kasi nandun yung kanilang the best school in Chicago, yung parang university nila doon sa architecture ay nasa Chicago. So doon nag-una yung doon unang nakatayo ang mga skyscraper sa Chicago before New York. Tingnan nyo dito, mayroong Chicago Federal Center Plaza, also known as Chicago Federal Plaza. Unified three buildings of varying scale: the mid-rise Ibery McKinney Dirksen Building, the high-rise John C. Klaksinski, and the single-story post office building. Tatlong building pala dyan na halos magkasabay tinayo sa Chicago. Federal Center Plaza ang exact location. Itong isa na namang building niya, napakarami palang project si Mais Bandero. Mayaman siguro ito guys. Kasi mga isang skyscraper lang ang project mo, milyonaryo ka na. Kahit nga makadesign ka lang ng 4-story na commercial building, milyonaryo ka na dyan. Sa isang residential house ay meron ka ng estimated yan na 300 to 400 thousand pesos, halos kalahating milyon na sa isang residential project lang yan. Pag malaki yan na bahay, kung aabot yan ng 10 million, meron kang makukuha dyan na 10% of the 10 million. Kung 4-story or 4 na residential house ang magawa mo sa isang taon, milyonaryo ka guys. Pwede ka nang mag-retire ka agad at pasyal-pasyal na lang, vlog ka na lang kung saan-saan. Museum of Fine Arts, Houston, we got a problem. Yung Houston dito kasi yung Rockets, kaya yung Rockets team ng NBA pinangalanan niya na Rockets kasi sa Houston diyan unang lumipad yung Apollo 11 na pumunta ng buwan. Kaya Houston, we got a problem. Yun ang sinabi ng piloto doon sa Rocket. Meron daw sila problema at naulit yan na linya doon sa movie na Armageddon. Yung linya na yun ay inulit din ni sino ba yung bida doon sa Armageddon? Yung patay yung bida yun sino ba yun, yung kalbo na tao, kalimutan ko yung pangalan. Kaya sikat na sikat yung Rockets NBA team, related yan sa Houston Rockets kasi ang Houston yan ang paliparan ng Rockets na papunta sa buwan. Kaya yung saying or yung linya na Houston, we got a problem, yan ang pinaka sikat na linya sa Houston. National Gallery, Berlin. Pag Berlin, Germany yan. My last work was the new National Gallery Art Museum, the new National Gallery for the Berlin National Gallery, considered as one of the most perfect statements of his architectural approach. The upper pavilion is a precise composition of monumental steel columns and cantilevered overhanging roof plane with glass enclosure. So ito na yung pinaka-pinali niya sa pagtanda niya guys. Naging mature na yung kanyang design, naging mature na yung kanyang pag-iisip. Ay ganito na yung lumabas sa kanyang design. Maximizing the use of steel, the glass. Minamaximize niya yan kung ano ba talaga hanggang saan pwedeng gamitin ang glass. Pwede ba yung gamitin sa pinakamalapad na building ang glass, ang steel ba ay makagawa ba yan ng cantilever na mahaba? Kaya during his age of maturity in architecture ay lalong gumagaling ang kanyang design sa kanyang architecture. Yan ang sinasabi guys, na pag tumatanda ang lalaki ay lalong gumagaling ang mga lalaki. Ang babae kasi walang totoo ito. Ang babae kasi pag tatanda, para siyang bulaklak, malalanta na siya. Pero ang mga lalaki, pag tumatanda, parang bino yan, lalong tumatapang at lalong sumasarap. Kaya sa design din, pagtatanda ang lalaki ay matured na yung kanyang design. Maganda. Kung bino, masarap inumin. Pero wag natin i-stereotype natin yung babae na malalanta. Kasi si Zaha Hadid, yung Arabian na tumboy na architect, ay babae yun, pero yung kanyang design ay dinadaig niya yung mga lalaki. She's one of a million. Isa lang siya sa 1 million. Magaling si Zaha Hadid. Parang alien yung mga design niya, out of this world. Tinatalo niya lahat ng mga lalaki sa design, sa architectures. Ay salute, Zaha Hadid. Patay na siya ngayon guys. Pero yung kanyang mga works, pwede niyong matingnan. I-search nyo lang Zaha Hadid. Okay. So meron pa siya ito. Yung parang World Trade Center yung pagka-design. Itong Toronto na naman. Pag Toronto, Raptors to eh. Ito yung nag-champion 2019 sa NBA, di ba? The Toronto Dominion Bank Tower. Ito pala ay bangko. The tallest structure ever designed by Mies, the Bank Tower forms part of the Toronto Dominion Center or TD Centra, a group of buildings in downtown Toronto consisting 6 towers, a pavilion for which Mies served as a design consultant to the architects John P. Parkin and Associates and Brigman and Hammond. Mayaman pala itong si ang daming connection. Ang dami niyang associates. Mies Bandero, ngayon ko lang nabasa to. Okay guys, at hanggang dito na lang muna tayo. At meron akong ipapagawa sa inyo at the end of this video. Alright, this is what you have to do guys. Answer these 3 questions. Letter A is write down the autobiography of Mies Bandero. Letter B, list down 10 of his greatest works in his lifetime. Give the date and the place where the building was erected. And letter C, expound or explain in your own the meaning of his dictum, less is more. So hanggang dito lang ako guys. Be well, do what you have to do, and stay at home. Take care. Bye for now.